Hi there, I'm Barbara Rudd Dagenhart, and in this video clip I'm going to introduce to you the expectation dimension on the Suke model of feeling and emotion. Our goal is to enhance emotional health by picturing all of our feelings and emotions on one logical map in these 7 dimensions, and this dimension is the only one that cares about the future. So all the feelings and emotions activated in this dimension have to do with our view of the future. All of our positive hope-related feelings and negative fear-related feelings are contained here. And this particular dimension has to do a lot with our beliefs. I like to think of this as our operating system for imagination. It's the only dimension that cares about the future, that anticipates the future, or lives in the future even sometimes, and that can be trouble for us. These feelings are activated by events or circumstances that haven't even happened yet, and whether that's in just a few minutes or in a few decades that we expect these things to happen, all those feelings are important for helping us to plan and organize. So the trouble can be, however, that it's easy to become stuck in them. And I don't think, for me anyway, I'm aware that the trouble I have with being afraid or worried at times is because I'm just focusing far too much on the future. The future's unpredictable and it's nothing that we can control. So the wisdom is to try and rein these emotions in. And I think that this is kind of our Achilles heel. If we got this right, the rest of our lives, the rest of these dimensions would operate in a much more healthy and balanced way. So good to focus here and good to understand what's going on here. Similar to the steering system in a car, this imagination function determines our direction and helps us to avoid a collision, keeps us from going off track by guiding forward movement, helps us to avoid things that we want to avoid. So if our steering column is properly aligned with our wheels, then accurate direction will be maintained and we should be fine. So if you imagine that this lantern is your expectation dimension, then let's give us an example here. Say you've worked hard and are prepared, very prepared, for an exam tomorrow or for a work deadline tomorrow. Likely the feelings in anticipation of that that you're going to feel are going to be activated on this top half of this dimension here. There'll be feelings like confidence or certainty, courage, bravery even, sort of a positive anticipation. Certainly you're not feeling inhibited about it. And I've got around 50 other words on my collection that might describe how you'd feel when you have that positive anticipation or hopeful feelings. Mood can develop when those feelings stick around for a while and spread and affect other people or maybe other parts of yourself. And the mood here might be optimism when you're feeling great about that exam or job deadline that you've got tomorrow, maybe even looking forward to it. After a while, those feelings subside. There's this natural regulation that happens unless there's a reason for them to stick around for longer. But there is that return to the neutral baseline following a positive or negative event. So now let's say that you are unprepared for that exam tomorrow or that work deadline tomorrow. There's a chance that your reactions are going to feel negative, and some of those feeling words are, feeling doubtful, feeling worried, unsure, inhibited, uncertain. There might even be panic or downright, fearfulness, terror that is activated prior to something that you're anticipating in a negative way. I've got around 90 negative emotion words for the fear-related feelings. Moods develop when emotions stick around, so there could be a mood of pessimism that develops here. Character can be shaped by ongoing negative moods, and so you might end up a nervous person if you've got a lot of this going on in your life and you don't have the opportunity to return to that baseline and get regulated and kind of get a handle on these fearful feelings. So we want emotional health. So how can we get balance in this system? Well, the habit that kind of maintains us in negative sort of agitation in this dimension is remaining in a state of worry chronically. And there's a hyperarousal that comes with that. And it can cause us to begin to try to control situations and people and our environment in order to avoid those feelings of fear. So we want to avoid or break habits of worry and control, and those come from sort of over imagining the future, right? Which, as I've said, we can't imagine, we can't predict it. So a practice that will loosen the anxiety that can actually develop here in this system and help with living well is trust. That simple word. We can face the future by finding ways to trust. And the best way of doing that is to seek people that you can trust, seek out friends or family members that you can trust that will help you in your relationship with them build confidence and assurance and reassurance that things will be okay. And so there's lots more to tell you about this expectation dimension. And stay tuned for what is to come. In the next video, we're going to be talking about this interaction dimension, this green one here at the bottom. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye for now.